Brandon Podziemski has been one of the most polarizing players and young players on the Golden State Warriors. But the fans see the upside and the flaws very clearly, saying that is he worth the upcoming due extension or isn't he? Let's dive in.
The real, no fake. ThaAuthenticTake. Yeah, the real, no fake.
First of all, I really love B-Pods, especially in his rookie season, led the league in most taken charges. And I just liked the way he was a selfless player. And he had, an occasional, three-point dagger that I felt like was a compliment to Steph Curry. And just in my own opinion, I feel like in his second season, Steve Kerr put more responsibility on him. I don't think he's really stepped up to that so far. Just plain and simple, he has big expectations, and I think maybe he's hit that 1 out of 3 seasons. His career averages is 10.4 points a game, 5.4 rebounds a game, 3.6 assists a game. I think that's kind of low, especially if you're a point guard. I mean, just, saying it. 45% from the field and 38% from three-point range. And just looking at those numbers, those are kind of up and down. You would like him to have more overall points. You would like him to have maybe double the assist at least. So I think there is definitely room for growth. What the fans, including me, like about Brandon Podziemski, that he's a high IQ connector player. He's an excellent rebounder for a guard. I mean, you actually should look at his, college and high school numbers. They're actually massive in the double digits for rebounds. He's a strong hustle player. You never see him give up on a play. He's kind of that spunky guy diving for balls, and sliding across the floor. So you always love that about him. And just, a hustle player, like that just goes to show about, the rookie season when he was taking all those charges. He's an emotionally tough competitor. I mean, look what he's kind of gone through already. On a local station, 95.7 The Game, on Willard and Dibbs, Willard actually kind of called out B-Pods for comparing himself to being the equivalent of a basketball Otani, which I don't know why he would do that, but he called him out. So he was kind of tough, deflecting questions. And then just another instant, for example, is when he went to the Giants game, the whole crowd booed him, and I don't know if he really actually deserves that. And he is someone who fits Steve Kerr's game plan. And it's no mystery that Brandon Podziemski is one of Steve Kerr's favorites. That's why it was easier probably for Steve Kerr to move on from Jonathan Kuminga. And this year, during March and April, Brandon Podziemski actually took an offensive leap. Instead of his 10.4 career points a game, he was actually averaging about 17 and 18 points a game, obviously because Steph Curry was out for runner's knee or with runner's knee. And I love that. When you're needed, you step up, and that's what he did. So that's definitely a positive. Like I said before, fans really were engaging and loving B-Pods because he was diving for balls on the court, and he was just showing that relentless hustle. Also, it's just kind of funny sometimes when you see B-Pods just kind of rebound over a way huger player, but he has that athleticism, aggressiveness, that he's not scared to challenge anybody. And, I really love that about him. And you really see that he has chemistry with Steph Curry, which you got to love. I mean, Steph is the GOAT. He's like your star player, so obviously you kind of want to be a little 1-2 punch as far as point guards go. And he has chemistry with him. And also, I loved when Jimmy Butler first hit the scene with the Warriors. That was like his big uncle. He's always smiling with. Definitely getting schooled by Jimmy Butler. And he is not someone that doesn't want to learn. And he is definitely a student of the game. And he definitely has a winning play mentality. He had a couple, probably more than a couple, big shots down the stretch that kept the Warriors playing hopes alive. And Steve Kerr is always quick to compliment Brandon Podziemski and saying that he is definitely a player that it doesn't always show up on the scoreboard or the stat sheet, and he affects the game beyond scoring. And for the main criticism, fans really think that B-Pods really over dribbles. And I gotta say, the thing that bugs me the most, and I don't know if anybody else is seeing this, I'm sure everybody else is, but the thing that bothers me, maybe not the over dribbling, but when he dribbles down into the key and all of a sudden he loses his pivot foot and he's just like out of range and he's looking for help, and it's like, I don't know why he does that. And that just bothers me. And it's like a go-to move for him that he does all the time. I hate Wusa. Sometimes he forces offense, which I get why he's trying to do that. It's a negative and a positive, especially this season when Steph Curry was out. And most fans think that Brandon Podziemski is not an elite athlete. I don't know how you could tell that, but I do think he's a pretty good player. Also, that he's a streaky shooter, which I agree. Like, he'll have like a 30-point game, like 5 or 6 threes, and all of a sudden the next game he'll have like maybe 8 to 12 points. That didn't really affect the game at all. Also, he could disappear against elite defenders. I gotta say that's a big knock because kind of seems like he gets quiet when the challenge gets bigger. And probably the biggest narrative is that around the NBA, people think that the Warriors overrate him, that he is not as good as the Warriors do value him, which I can see that. But then again, I do think he's a solid player. Just streaky. Most of the NBA see him as a good future player, good role player, but not as a future star. And right now, the big debate in the Bay Area is whether he's worth an extension, because I believe he's coming up on a 4-year, $50 million or so extension. My personal belief is that I think he's worth it. I mean, because where else are you going to go as the Warriors? A backup point guard that could score a little bit, could run the offense when Steph, is on the bench. I don't know where else you go. I think they tried to do that a little bit with Melton, but I think he didn't work out in the end. And because of his uncertainty, he is often someone that is shopped around as one of the main pieces in a possible blockbuster trade for the Golden State Warriors. But also the Warriors are thinking maybe Steph Curry has like maybe 2 years left, and why not keep Podziemski for the future? My authentic take of the video is the team clearly values him. He is extension eligible right now. And I think they're going to punch that through, barring they make some kind of, blockbuster trade, which is still definitely on the table. But he is a heavy minutes player. He's trusted by Kerr, and he's viewed as part of the young core. And that right there, I kind of don't see him as that. I kind of feel like it's with the young core, it's Brandon Podziemski, and then you got the other guys like Guy Santos, Quentin Post, who might not be there this year, and stuff like that. I feel like there's levels to it. The extremely young core is more like, Quentin Post, Guy Santos, but the kind of medium level, a step up, is kind of like the Moses Moody, Brandon Podziemski, and guys like that. So I kind of disagree with that a little bit. But overall, the Warriors see Brandon Podziemski as an elite player with tremendous upside, even if he is an elite bench player. Possible as a long-term starter. He's a high-end glue guy, and he's a potential all-star if he keeps growing and trending upward. So, bottom line, I think that the Warriors should extend Brandon Podziemski. I mean, he'll always have a tradable contract, So I think the Warriors should extend Brandon Podziemski. I think he's a good piece to the team. Maybe not a main piece, but he's definitely a good piece that I feel like that we need. But either way we go, I'm kind of okay with it. But let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comments. This has been The Authentic Take. Until next time.
The authentic take.